Coming up on Verse, Chorus, Verse, DL talks about some things he loves and some things he doesn't like. That's next. Hi, everybody. I'm DL. I hope you're doing amazingly. I am. It is a Sunday. It's nice and relaxing. It's been a wonderful weekend, and I'm recording. Did a little bit of recording with our dear friend Evil last night, and wanting to cap it off with my own thing. What is my own thing, you ask? Well, we are continuing our coverage of the Rolling Stones' greatest albums and greatest songs of all time. The 500 lists of both. They are, as we've learned, the album list is actually not that bad yet. We are way at the beginning. And I have a feeling, I say not bad yet, and yet there are a good amount of albums that I am so far certain albums should have been way higher, little things like that, but it's okay. The songs list is bad. There's cool stuff on it, but the songs list is bad. But we still get to talk about some really cool artists. I still get to experience some music that I really love. One album in particular on this one that I've just been listening to for a week straight, just because it's just remembered how much I loved it. It's been a lot of fun. Everything else is okay, works crazy. I'm not feeling great, so apologize for my heavy breathing on this episode, because I can't breathe through my nose. These episodes take longer than I usually think. Because of that, I'm going to get to the most important part of the night immediately. What are we drinking? Now you are listening to Real Big Fish's beer. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but every year I change the theme song for What Are We Drinking Tonight to something alcohol related. Last year was, let's see, we had Bare Naked Ladies alcohol 3 years ago. Last year was Flogging Molly's Drunken Lullabies. That song has a lot of that song is very important to me for reasons I won't get into. Beer by Real Big Fish is just a good song. It's just awesome. In fact, embarrassingly enough, is this embarrassing? Is it not? I've kind of gotten back into lately some of the pop ska stuff. It's not like I'm listening to it a ton, but I like those genres that, while the overall genre is not great, they still give you some nuggets, man. They still give you some gold. Nu metal, make fun of it all you want. We got some really good shit out of it. Ska, you can make fun of it all you want, justifiably so, but you're telling me Squirrel Nut Zippers weren't banging? You're telling me that Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's You and Me and the Bottle Makes Three tonight? That was on the more swinger side. But then you get to the ska stuff, the Real Big Fish, their version of Take On Me, Chef's Kiss, Goldfinger, banger after banger. How many of us spent a full year listening to Superman playing Tony Hawk? My whole generation spent an entire year doing that. That song's rad. Here in Your Bedroom by Goldfinger, they had some bangers. I'm okay with the ska stuff. Beer is a fantastic song. Real Big Fish was a good band. So that's the alcohol music this year. What am I drinking, though? Again, I'm boring. It's some ginger ale and vodka. I am sick. I do have school tomorrow, so I have to behave. But also, I'm trying to be a little bit healthier. Not that ginger ale and vodka's not exactly healthy. I understand that. But vodka, when you're talking about health, calories, that sort of thing, vodka is the alcohol to go with. That is the one that your body will filter fastest, as long as it's a nicer vodka. And calorie-wise, it's wunderbar. I also have, let's see, so it's going to be a lot of vodka and a lot of tequila this year, at least until July, when my bet with my dear little brother is over. He's a very athletic person. He might kick my ass in this bet, but that's okay. We have a little weight loss wager. I can lose weight really fast. I'm a runner. Runners lose weight, bro. That's what I'm drinking. So these YouTube episodes, there aren't going to be too many this year, because I am starting a project very soon that is going to last this whole year. Should I spoil it now? Maybe, you know what, why not? One of the things that I've learned is you gotta spoil things. You to lead the witness. You got to get more listeners come in. Here's where I tell you, go to courseverse.com. That's not as important as much as download your episodes, share the episodes. Actually, at this point in time, our feed now goes through Riverside, which means that Spotify has us on video, should by now have us on video. I'm not 100% sure, 94% sure. I believe you can watch this on video on Spotify. If you're not into that, you can just switch it right to the audio. That's, if I'm being honest, that's what I do with my podcasts that I listen to. But you can. It's right there. It's all right there. And the big thing is tell a friend. Tell a friend about this podcast. If we can grow, we're growing steadily. If you as listeners can tack on another 100 listeners an episode, we'll be up to 80,000 an episode by no time, and then we'll be making massive bank. Not massive bank. Let's talk about this music. Some of it I'm really excited for, some of it I'm not. I'll take a break, and then we'll be back. We are back, and we are starting. I'm not at the... This is a tough one to cover, because I do think that I'm a little bit on an island for this one. Album number 484 on the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Albums of All Time is Born This Way by the Gags, Lady Gaga. Let's just get this painful part out of the way. I don't think anybody that listens to this podcast specifically came on because they heard we were going to be talking about Lady Gaga. I don't think we're that type of pod. Unfortunately, Rachel isn't here to play the other side of the fence. I am not a Lady Gaga fan. And when I say I'm not a Lady Gaga fan, if we were at a bar drinking and you're like, real quick, top 3 least favorite artists of all time, who you got? Lady Gaga's popping in my head as one of those. She's right up there with the Meghan Trainors, the Gwen Stefani's of the world. Yes, I am sexist. And yes, I got that from my mom. Now you don't know what the hell to do, huh? But I am not a fan of Lady Gaga. And it's not just, look, it's not that I don't. Here's the revelation that I had. Let's talk about this album a little bit, because I did listen to it. I listened to it a couple times just to try to understand it a little bit more, because I'm not a dick. I'm not just going to get on here and be like, this album sucks, you suck, fuck you, I'm out. It's not really my style. This album is very Flashdance meets Madonna sort of thing. Literally. Song number 1 is basically Flashdance on this album. And then Born This Way is Express Yourself by Madonna. Are you catching the problem? Are you catching the problem? All these songs that like Express Yourself, Flashdance, they're great songs. They're songs from the 80s. Not my cup of tea, but I get it. This is literally regurgitated stuff from the dance music from the 80s. That's what this is. She straight up, Born This Way could not be more Express Yourself. That is a stolen fucking song. And there is a lot of that on this album and with Lady Gaga. Like Government Hooker, it's Britney Spears, but in like a Blue Monday kind of way. Americano is Shakira. I'm listening to this album and I get to, what is it, Judas, that's when it hits me. This is 110% a gay bar album. This is absolutely, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. In fact, when I was in my 20s and I was in Boise at the time, when I lived in Boise at the time, and we had a group that would go out, as you do in the 20s, we would drink a ton, we would go to the bars, we'd get wasted, we'd have a blast. We would always, once it got to a certain amount of time, we always ended up at the gay bar. There was one very prominent one in Boise, and then there was another one that was a little bit of a darker bar, but they were both great bars. But we'd always end up at the gay bar because the dancing was fucking awesome. The girls that we were with didn't have to worry about like the whole scumbag douchey pick up on chicks, rub you too much drunk on the dance floor thing. That wasn't happening there. And you could even, sometimes it's nice for a dude to get I'd get bought a drink every now and then. That was nice. I was a looker back in the day. Gay bars are the shit. They really are. They are a comfortable place where you can drink. You don't have to worry. Like, you don't hear about fucking... this was when I was young. I could be wrong, but you didn't have to worry about fucking drinks getting drugged and all that sort of shit. That's this album. And I absolutely totally get why people would love this. I don't. And it has nothing, it's not because it's gay bar music. It's just because it's the same. I've just heard it. This isn't anything new. And I think that's where the really weird thing for me and Lady Gaga is held up as this humongously artistic, different. She's paving the way and doing these incredible things. I don't understand what it is she's doing. I don't understand what she's paving the way for. I don't, if this is just she's just a fucking badass who's pro gay rights, pro humanity, everybody love each other, fucking great. I'm all for that. But as far as music, she doesn't do shit. She she stole from Madonna, and then she went on and she did stuff with Tony Bennett for a long time as a random, but you talk about fucking low-hanging fruit, just going out and doing bar crooning with Tony Bennett, wearing a nightgown and singing on the piano. I do not buy any of this shit. I don't. And so I don't like this album. Come at me. Tell me where I'm very, very off, because I probably am. Let's do some awards and categories. 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. That's my island, I think. I don't hear a lot of people like Lady Gaga. Evil's good with Lady Gaga. I'm like, I don't know. She just doesn't. I don't get where more people don't not like her. I guess that's how I'll say it. I did like her. Look, I hated that second Joker movie, but for all the reasons I think everybody did, because it made no fucking sense at all. And, for people that are obsessed with Joaquin Phoenix like me, Lady Gaga did great in that. That's the only movie that's the only movie I've seen of hers. I didn't see the country singing one. That's it. I don't know. I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's really, really good. I don't know, man. What's Love Got to Do with It award? You already heard it. I just don't like her. I don't. She's a thief, and she's gotten away with it more than anybody. She's never been in trouble for stealing. And she steals the Olivia Rodrigo songs that she got in trouble for stealing are not as bad as Lady Gaga's are. So yeah, the DMX award. I don't know. They say she's edgy. Is she the one that wore a meat suit? I don't see it, but who knows? I could be wrong. The Mark Lanigan True Rock Star Award. She is super famous and she's weird. I think she wore a meat dress, right? Was that her? Was that Bjork? Bjork the Swan? Fuckers in your dresses. That's the thing. She is super duper famous, and she does I'm gonna wear weird shit, I'm gonna name my kids weird names sort of like, she's that sort of famous. And you have to be a rock star to be that sort of famous. I think isn't the cover of this, she's like on a fucking Harley, or she is a Harley, or something like that. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. I don't care. I think this is way overrated. I think just go buy some Madonna albums. But like I said, probably wrong. Influences and influencees, everybody she stole from. The Nevermind the Bullocks Award. I have no idea. I don't know any of her albums. I will say that there is a song of hers I love called Paparazzi. I don't know what it is about that song. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the hook is just, there's the part of my brain that there's certain hooks that you are forced to like. That song is one of them. So she does have stuff out there I like. She has a thing out there I like. The No, Dude, Seriously Award. You have one song to give. I don't care. I don't know. I guess, not Poker Face. What's the one that I'm supposed to talk about? Spoilers for later in this episode. Bad Romance. Maybe Bad Romance. Is that on this album? Shit. I don't care. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. It's got a lot of good hooks. You can tell when I'm rushing through this. The John Prine Best Lyric Award. Yeah. I'll Die Living Just as Free as My Hair. That's that song about her hair, man. Right? The Eddie Van Halen Award, the Surfer Rosa Award. Track 3 being track 3 is fucking insane on this. That's what I'll say. The Time of Your Life Award. Uh, I don't know. There's like a Shania Twainish thing in You and I that is really bad. Yeah. The 3 best songs, Marry the Night, that copies 80s and dance really well. Hair, that song makes no sense. It's dumb, but the synth slaps. And then Bloody Mary has a kind of a slow She Wants Revenge New Order thing that I'm really into. Does it belong on it, and do I own it? No and no. This doesn't belong on the top 500. I'd rather see 4 Madonna albums. I don't even really like Madonna. I'd rather see 4 Madonna albums on here than this. And no, I'm not going to own it. I don't even think my daughter would get into Lady Gaga. She gets into a lot of this sort of stuff. Lady Gaga hasn't been on the scene. I would call this rating the album. For the general public, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. For me, it's a 4. And that's Born This Way by Lady Gaga. Should we get to the next album? A little bit better content. The next album on the list is number 483. It is the man, the one, the only, the Muddy Waters. It's his anthology, 1947 to 1972. It's cheating. It's an anthology. It's not an album. I know that a lot of Muddy Waters' biggest stuff came earlier before albums were much of a thing, but he does have albums. This is an anthology. This is a CD collection of Muddy Waters music. It's got Hoochie Coochie Man on it. It's got Manish Boy on it. It's got Chicago Blues Beatitude. It's, cheating, lying, no good, not fair bullshit. I don't know. I don't know how mad we're supposed to be for them putting this stuff on the list. I know that it's on here because they have to put Muddy Waters on here. And I guess what do you do? But where's the breaking point here? If you're putting this on there, why aren't you putting Beethoven's greatest hits on here? We've covered Muddy Waters. We did a whole episode on Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf. Go listen to it. It's amazing. I love talking about those old Delta blues, Mississippi, Chicago, fucking the greats of the greats, which that's Muddy Waters is both. Born in Mississippi, ended up in Chicago, like the greats did. He's the god of Delta blues. He's the god of Chicago blues. You know what I mean? He's Manish Boy. There's 50 songs on the compilation. It's 50 Muddy Waters songs, so it's awesome. It's bigger than Influence. It's Big Joe Williams. It's Howlin' Wolf. It's Robert Johnson, which I'll talk about later in the episode. Robert Johnson being even farther back than that. Robert Johnson, I'll talk about him later. But it's the influence of the influence of the influence. You don't have Led Zeppelin, which means you don't have Moontooth or Royal Blood or any, you don't have Soundgarden. It's Muddy Waters, and it's a CD compilation. It's a cheat. Now, I'm not saying, when I say it's a cheat, I'm not saying it's stupid that it exists. I think it's awesome to have this, like this right here, this is just Robert Johnson's complete recordings. It's like 4 vinyl of all of his recordings in one. It's the perfect thing for these artists. Muddy Waters compilation is a great thing to own. Just flip it on and you're hearing all of the goods. But that doesn't mean it belongs on the album, on the list, right? Let's talk about that a little more later. I'll do some awards and categories for this. It's fucking Muddy Waters, When I was a young boy, my mama, I don't need to, 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I don't think anything. It's Muddy Waters. I get wanting the anthology, like a complete recordings, like I said. So I'm not going to hate on, like I said, own this. Just don't put it on a list of greatest albums of all time. What's love got to do with it? Look, here's what I'll say. Some of these artists, Muddy Waters wasn't maybe the best guy. He sang a lot about not being the best guy. I don't care. I love his music so much. The DMX Award, he defined and started a genre I mean, you could obviously, like, I've got the picture of Robert Johnson behind me. It started is, there's a lot of context there, but Muddy Waters was the first giant blues Chicago, that amazing sounding guitar. He was the man to do it. Mark Lanigan, True Rock Star Award. This guy he was drinking. He wrote, that's what his songs are about. He was one of the original, I'm drinking, smoking, screwing my way through life. I'm going to hell. I know it. I don't care. I'm rock and roll. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. This is a hard one. You don't ever hear people talk about a lot of these guys. I did just see a Howlin' Wolf album on Instagram that made me super happy. But I don't know how often I see content or vinyl feed stuff from these types. And there should be more. People should listen to more. It's fucking great. Influences and influencees. It's a stupid question. Never mind the bullocks. It's not really relevant. No, dude. Seriously, award Hoochie Coochie is kind of like, if you were talking to somebody that knows nothing about music, and you were trying to give them a rundown of like, here's music from 1920 to 2020. Hoochie Coochie Man is one of the songs that you're giving them for 1950 or 40 or whenever that came out. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. Okay. Him singing there's that song, what is it, where the snare's hitting massively. I Want to Be Loved. His singing to that massive snare hit is, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. John Prine Best Lyric Award, Country Boy, is about as Muddy Waters as it get. Don't say, I don't love you because I stay out all night, sort of stuff. Woman, I am who I am. Kind of, that's very Muddy Waters. The Eddie Van Halen Award. The You Shook Me guitar, it's old and it's perfect. It's perfect. So it's one of those songs that, man, it would be fun to, some of those guitar greats, it would be fun to sit down with them and hear them pick apart those, what they love about that stuff. The Surfer Rosa Award, not applicable. The Time of Your Life Award, I'm not answering that. There is no bad song on this album. There is no worst song on a Muddy Waters anthology. You can go to hell. The 3 best songs on the album, Train Fare Home has this like D falling scale. It's blues perfection. It's so good. Hoochie Coochie Man, it's one of the most prominent songs of a century. And then, but my favorite song on this, and it's to this day, if anybody wants a perfect Delta blues song, a song that encapsulates every single thing that was ever good that came from Delta blues, you listen to Rollin' Stone by Muddy Waters. Just go listen to it. Tell me I'm wrong. Does it belong on the 500 greatest albums list, and do I own it? I don't own it. It's CD only. I don't think that I'd buy that. I have a few, 2 or 3 Muddy Waters albums. That gets me by just fine. Do you guys think this belongs on the list? The 500 greatest albums? It's not technically an album. I just don't think that this is the place for it. I think they just put it on because they're like, we can't fucking leave Muddy Waters off this, which I get. Rate the album I don't know. What's the highest I should be allowed to rate an anthology? 8 out of 10? I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's Muddy Waters. Anything he ever does is going to be a 10 out of 10, but it's cheating. It's cheating. Okay. It's like, if you play sports video games and you create your team that has, fucking Tom Brady, if it has every single best fucking person in that position on your team, and you go undefeated and you win the Super Bowl 56-0 in your video game, yeah, I'm not giving you a 10 out of 10 season. It's a great metaphor. Let's get to album 482. I think a lot of you that listen to the pod already know how this is going to go. Bizarre Ride 2 by the Pharcyde. Golly gee willikers, do I just adore this fucking album. My God, this album's so good. I heard that, so when we tried to initially do this in YouTube video form, shorts, like 10-minute form on YouTube, but nobody was watching it. We just didn't have a fan base, and we don't we still don't really have YouTube figured out. I covered this, and that's when I found it, and that was 4 something years ago. It's been one of my favorite hip hop albums ever since. I had not heard it before then, which is a little surprising because I do know a good amount and do really like old school hip hop, 90s hip hop. But this is just, God, just put this album on and just try not to have a good time. It's so fun. It's so amazing. It's so lighthearted and yet good messaging for the most part. They had hired Paul Stewart, who also did Cypress Hill. You can kind of feel that immediately. You can feel that serious yet fun sort of thing about them that he brings. He's really, really good at that. This is a big, actually, West Coast thing. The 3 original members of this were a big part of the West Coast kind of fun movement, this half comedic, lighthearted sort of thing, like a more playful Run DMC sort of. Class of Clowns Let Loose in the Studio was a quote from this. It was like one of the reviews, like, it sounds like Class Clowns Let Loose in the Studio, which is just great. They had a good time making it. They talked about how good of a time they had making it. And this is a good amount. This was, kind of not since like Wu-Tang Clan. It's really hard for a group of rappers to not just sound on songs and albums like they're doing their own thing. Like, okay, this is my verse. I'll come in, I'll add it. All these guys kind of blend together really, really well. They still have their own voice. It's just nuts. It's nuts. I don't want to spoil it. 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. Nobody talks about this fucking album. Nobody. You talk about hip hop, you talk about early 90s. This does not get talked about, and that is ridiculous. What's love got to do with it? I love everything about this genre, this era, this style. I love it. Give me all of it. Anything you don't like about it, I don't want to hear. I don't care if you think some of the lyrics are sexist or some of the lyrics are, not conducive to. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. DMX Award. It's a unique foursome. I already kind of talked about it. They sound different, but they blend. The Mark Lanigan True Rockstar Award, they clearly, like, Class Clowns Let Loose in the Studio, when that's the review, then you're reaching Van Halen status there. Get me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut, motherfucker. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. This is disgustingly underrated. You people don't talk about this album, and it's so good. Influences and influencees, you can go as far back as like Quincy Jones, Sly, and the Family Stone. You listen to this album, there's a lot of funk. There's a lot. This is, that kind of older, that Tony. Early 90s had a lot of funk, fun stuff on it. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I think that this is by far, I think this wins a Never Mind the Bullocks Award. I have gone and listened to their other stuff. I think this is way better. It's good. I think this is by far their best album. The No, dude, seriously award. If you're giving one song to a person to feel this, you're giving them oh shit. Go listen to that. Okay? Promise me you will. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. Passing Me By. That sound had a big hand in what would eventually become West Coast hip hop. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, I guess A Twinkle in Her Eye is just a twinkle in her eye. That's good. There's some other fun stuff on here too. The Eddie Van Halen Award, I love the beginning of Passing Me By, this nasally hip hop thing that he's doing, and it works, and it does. Stuff like that isn't supposed to work, and it works. The Surfer Rosa Award, it's very spaced. The skits are okay. I'm not a big skit guy, and it's rare that skits work. They don't work great on this. It's fine. It's well spaced. Time of Your Life Award, I'll say the skits. I'll just say the skits. I don't know. The Northwest white boy in me, I guess. I just don't get the skits thing. Some of them are good. And the 3 best songs on the album. Return of the B-Boy is so of the time that I like that. It's one of those songs that maybe doesn't work anymore, but it brings you back to a specific time and place. Number 2, Officer, fucking slaps. And the best song on this album is Oh Shit. The start of this album, you know immediately the bizarre ride you're in for, and they're taking you there immediately. Does it belong on the list? Absolutely it does. I'm so glad that they put this on the list. Good job, Rolling Stone, he said without sarcasm. And do I own it? I do own it. I do own this album. I'll put it on Instagram. I love it. I love it. Rate the album. I will give it a 9 out of 10. Wondering why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10. Because it's become one of my favorite hip hop albums. But I do think that it's not a perfect album. I'll say that. You don't have to it doesn't have to be a perfect album to be a 10 out of 10. I'll give this a 9 out of 10. It's really damn close. It's really damn close. And with that, we've got one more album left. Let's take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll do our one album and 4 more songs. We are back. Let's go. Number 481 on the Rolling Stone 500 list is If You Are Feeling Sinister by Belle and Sebastian. This was recorded in 96 in Glasgow, Scotland. 41 minutes long, off of Jeepster label, produced by Tony Dugan. The name's fucking twee pop, indie rock. I did know Belle and Sebastian and their second album, Tiger Milk, kind of like a Elliott Smith-ish sort of pre-Decemberist feel kind of thing. You know, this Belle and Sebastian was completely... Okay, there are 2 things that movies completely ruined for people of my generation. Sideways almost completely ruined the fucking industry with Merlot, with the book and the movie, the part about him fucking hating Merlot. People stopped buying Merlot because of that movie, for real. Well, in one of our favorite movies, High Fidelity, they're listening to Belle and Sebastian when Jack Black comes in and calls it old sad bastard music. It's such a great scene, but there was this is what I love about that, is at the time, there really was a feel of, you know, it wasn't the cool thing to be that Jack Black type. It was cool to be in your feelings. And it was, I'm not saying this is bad, but it's true. It was cool to relate and to really think. And Jack Black rip roaring into that record store and throwing the tape across the fucking way and putting in I think it's Walking on Sunshine that he just starts jamming to. It's something, it's got to be one of Evil's favorite scenes in a movie ever. This was released through Matador in the US, which could not make more sense. This is as Matador of an album as you can possibly get, with a really big Scottish pull. There is, you know, like Tony Duga worked with Mogwai too, who I do love Mogwai. It's as hipster indie as you can get. Band members were living in a flat above a church. That's where they recorded it. Massive critical acclaim for good reason. So no, like, I think this album is great. I do. This goes along. This is just a great indie work of that time. The kind of the Neutral Milk Hotels of the world. Just amazing production. Really unique, very slow, methodical writing. It's such a 60s album in a good way. It's such a folky 60s thing. And it's also playful. Yeah, it's kind of old sad bastard music. Sometimes it's okay for old sad bastard music. I wouldn't know this, but it's very of the times, apparently, in Scotland in the 90s. There's it couldn't have been made any other time sort of feel about this album as I was studying it online. I didn't really know that. Frontman, I'm going to read something here. Frontman Stuart Murdoch wrote every song on the record, and even though he said that many of the songs are written from the perspective of a character, there are quite a few queer-themed songs, and Murdoch has called himself straight to the point of boring myself. They're all clearly deeply personal. It's a personal, meaningful, deep, slow, wonderfully produced folk indie project, and I'm sure Evil would not like it. I'm sure Rachel does not like. I know Rachel does not like it. I made her listen to it once. I do. I think this is great. I think Belle and Sebastian is a wonderful group. Belle and Sebastian are not two people named Belle and Sebastian, by the way, which I did think for a decent amount of my life. These 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I'm very stuck with these guys. I want to defend both sides of this argument because the old sad bastard music, the old sad bastard music, because they're not wrong. A whole album of this is it's just a flogging. But not every band can be fucking rockers, bro. Like you need the sweet with the sour, right? You need the honey and the vinegar. Now I want to watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What's love got to do with it? Kind of the same thing. I'm not in love with these guys, but they don't necessarily annoy me. It's somewhere in between. Like I want you to rock more, but I'm also glad that you're bringing me down a bit. The DMX award, I don't know how unique it was. It was very much in like the Elliott Smith footprints of the time, but I don't know enough about that music in that era to know who came first and who was doing what where. The Mark Lanigan True Rock Star Award, folk music was kind of in at that point. Like these people did get pretty popular and it's like the cool underground popular. It's like the we're not selling out, man, kind of popular. That's Rockstar. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. I'd say properly at the time, Belle and Sebastian got pretty big for an indie folk group. I think currently surprisingly underrated. You would think that albums like this would be all over. People would talk about the likes of Belle and Sebastian all the time. You'd see it on Instagram, all that stuff. I don't see or hear about them really ever. And that surprises me. That you'd think that they would be more popular. Influences and influencees. Elliott Smith, I hear a ton of Velvet Underground. Not a big shock there. And never mind the Bullocks Award. I think I like Tiger Milk more, their album before this. I think that was their second album. I haven't heard all their albums, but this is definitely not their best by far. John Popper Award. Like Dylan in the Movies has this small minor change in Like Dylan with the Movies. It's very killer. The No, Dude, Seriously Award. Stars of Track and Field. Go listen to that. If you want to say, hey, you're going to like this or you're not, show them that song. John Prine Best Lyric Award, the whole verse about the girl in If You're Feeling Sinister. It's really great writing. Basically, the people never knew what her thing was, what her cup of tea was, according to the song, because she never put herself out there. So it's about a person that never really lived their actual real life because they were so scared of admitting what they wanted out of life. But it's much more well put than I just did. Great writing. Eddie Van Halen Award. There's a lot of great guitar in this. I'll go with the tone in Mayfly, that guitar tone, Chef's Kiss. The Surfer Rosa Award. It works great as a mood album. If you're in the mood, it's a great listen all the way through. Just don't be in this mood too often because then you're an old sad bastard. Time of Your Life Award. Mayfly has amazing guitar, but that is the boring of the boring to the point of blah for me on this. And then the three best songs on the album. Stars of Track and Field is great. Like Dylan in the Movies, that hook is crazy good. And then seeing other people with that Vivaldi piano and the Velvet Underground really chill lyrics. That song, Seeing Other People, go listen to it. That's fantastic. Does it belong on the top 500 and do I own it? I don't own it. I probably wouldn't. No, I would. This would be a great vinyl to put on when you're in the mood. I would own this. I'm not sure if it belongs on the 500. If you're throwing indie 90s, you know what it does? You know why it does? You know why it belongs? Because it was specifically because it's named in High Fidelity and made fun of. That's why it deserves on here. It's kind of the representative of a genre that was made fun of. That was actually pretty good. Keep in mind, in that movie, when Jack Black comes in and says, "What the fuck are you listening to?" Rob Gordon says, "It's an album that we've been listening to and enjoying all morning." So, hey, take the good with the bad, right? I would give this like an 8 out of 10. It's a crazy good album. It's incredible. You just have to be in the mood for it. And those are the albums that we're going to do this time. Not a bunch of them very high on here. So we're definitely starting to lose ground. I'll post a full list on Instagram when this comes out. I'm putting the anthology down so I have 20 albums on the list so far. The anthology for Muddy Waters is down at 19. It's just cheating. I have a couple albums that are cheating because it's best ofs, man. It doesn't work. Number 17, I have Born This Way, just above Continuum by John Mayer and just below Harry's House. Number 11 is where I'm propping in If You're Feeling Sinister, right in between Shakira and 2 by Boys to Men. And while it was hard to do, I had to think about it for a long time, Bizarre Ride 2 by the Pharcyde, though, is going to sit for now at number 2 on the list. Still beating everything is number 500, Funeral by Arcade Fire. Every time we do this list, there's an album, I'm like, okay, well, that passes Funeral. And then I go back and listen to Funeral. I'm like, no, man, no. That album's so good. 500 is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Should we talk some songs? All right. Let's get to let's speed this up a little bit, huh? Let's talk about some fun. Song number 484 on the Rolling Stone list is Buddy Holly by Weezer. What is with these homies dissing my girl? Everybody in our generation knows it, loves it, thinks it's the best. We know the video, the Happy Days Spike Jones video. What I did not know is that Rivers did not want this on the album. They recorded it. It was one of the last songs they recorded it. Rivers was like, I'm not really feeling this. Maybe we put it on something later. To which Rick, producer Cars Rick, I figured you know who I'm talking about, was like, you're fucking insane. This is going on the album. This is going to be one of the biggest hits. This is the catchiest catch they ever caught. Other than that, it's a straightforward Blue Album Weezer song, man. Ooh-ee ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. What's Love Got to Do with It award? Do I like this more or less because of the artist? That is a great question. That is a wonderful question. We all have a confusing relationship with a Weezer, don't we? A love and hate relationship, if you will. I would say that they have 2 crazy amazing albums. By the way, I'm not going super into this. I'm not breaking the song down. It's too simple. It's really, really simple. I'll have a couple little ditties here in awards and categories. We also did a whole episode on the Blue Album already. So go back and listen to that where we do talk about Buddy Holly. We do the Blue Album, and it is given a 10 out of 10. I think if Rachel and Evil, I think Evil and I gave it a 10 out of 10. Rachel gave it something high too. It scored very highly. I know it's on the 10 out of 10 wall. I know that. But to me, Pinkerton, Weezer has 2. I barely drank anything. Weezer has 2 10 out of 10 albums ish in Blue and Pinkerton. They have a couple other really, really good albums. I am not the fan that everybody else is of Green. I really liked what's the one with Dope Nose and the dogs on the front. They've had like a couple 3 other solid good albums, and then just a lot of crap with sneaky little good songs in there. So it's kind of that two-face thing, you know? I don't know if I like them or if they just piss me off because I know what they're capable of and I don't think they care, but I kind of respect that. So I'm not going to answer that because I can't. The Brain Pleaser Award. What part of this song? Weezer are the kings of doing super cool little things. Their drum intros are infamously amazing. Doom, 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 or I could go on and on like that with them. But in this song, that little 9-note guitar solo, I mean, how do you not, it's like the Tool Sober, that crazy screeching. I love it when guitarists throw in just a super high, loud 3-note That's beautiful. I love it. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. This is massively popular then, and it's massively popular now. It's the Blue Album. You say the Blue Album, everybody knows what you're talking about. You start singing this song in a room, half the people are going to start singing along with you. Damn it. The Royals Award, it is not, I don't think it's even close to one of their best songs. I think there are probably 6 to 7 better songs on the Blue Album, but it's a good, you know what? A new awarding category-ish. We did, Evil and I did one on one episode, but we are going to start doing it in every single one. My listener question of the episode. My listener question of the episode for this one, going along with talking about Buddy Holly for Weezer, what are the 5 best Weezer songs of all time? And are they all on the Blue Album in Pinkerton? They very well could be. That's my listener question. I don't think Buddy Holly's on there, personally. I could be wrong, but no, I'm not, because I'm thinking of 5 songs on the Blue Album alone that are just better than Buddy Holly, including Say It Ain't So. There's a lot of, man, even on the albums that aren't good, but you're talking like Say It Ain't So, Tired of Sex. I'm not, I'd have to pull shit up. I'm not going to do it right now, but yeah, there are better songs on, The Workers Are Going Home, bro. Rickroll, is the song overplayed? It was so overplayed. That music video was so popular. And yeah, it did get, maybe that's why I don't love it as much, because it did get annoyingly overplayed. The John Prine Best Lyric Award. I love that chorus. I love the way and no Mary Tyler Moore. If you're singing about Mary Tyler Moore, how do you not love? I'm down all day. The album setup, is this in the right spot? I don't know, is it? Like I said, go listen to the Blue Album episode we did. Tell me. Is it the best song on the album? All right, Well, rank the song. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. It is a wonderfully amazing song. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing, it ain't Bob Dylan lyrics, but it's a great song. And there you go. There's Buddy Holly by Weezer. Let's do 483 from one of my favorite groups of all time. It is I Can't Help Myself by the Four Tops. Recorded in Detroit. Not too shocked by that, right? We're talking Motown. We're talking Holland Dozier Holland, the writing masters of a whole generation. I think we've talked about it on the pod before. If you are into any of this Motown stuff, well, you can thank Holland Dozier Holland, because they wrote every single part of it. If you like the Supremes, if you like the Four Tops, you like any of that, they wrote it. Why do I love the Four Tops so much? Well, beyond the incredible talent and beyond the unique things that they were doing with their vocals that other people weren't, and I'll talk about that later in my awards and categories, the Four Tops are always the Four Tops. If you went to a concert to see the Four Tops in the 70s, and like a lot of those vamps, the Supremes and all those, people came and went. You didn't keep fucking people in those. Four Tops were the same people until 2 of them have died. They never switched members. That is amazing. This came out on a single with Baby Love, which we've already covered on this, and is essentially, if you go listen to it, it's the same song. It's the same setup. It's the same notes. It's the same song. Holland Dozier Holland were famous for not caring about that. They audibly would tell you, yeah, we are recycling music. We know what sounds good. We want to keep giving you that. I kind of respect it. And they would do this cool thing, which I don't think producers look at things this way, where they would come out with a song and they'd be like, God, that's a great setup. It's a great melody. It's a really good chord structure, but I feel like we can do that better. And so they just keep pounding on that same chord structure. And then Can't Help Myself came out and they're like, that's it. That is what that chord structure was meant for. It is peak Motown. The Four Tops around this time with this song and another one that we better be covering on this fucking list. It better be there. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's peak Motown. It is when Motown was at its absolute best. Turn it on, start playing it. Tell me everybody in your house doesn't just start getting down as hard as they fucking can. Okay? The What's Love Got to Do with It award, I love the Four Tops. I love them. The Brain Pleaser award. Here is the thing what the Four Tops did that nobody else was doing. And it wasn't just the kind of the surprisingly complex harmonies that they had, which they did, the surprisingly complex song structures, which they would do. They would throw things in songs. Not in this one. This is very simple. That would really surprise your ears and make it incredible. But the other thing they did, Levi Stubbs, the lead singer for the Four Tops, he went in when they first went in to record this stuff, and they sent him the tapes and they showed him the notes that he wanted to sing. He didn't want to do it because if you listen to them, he's straining to hit those notes. His voice is not that high. He doesn't hit those high notes that well. He has to kind of scream a little bit to do it. And this was before anything like that was popular. You know, you had your Delta Blues stuff and your Howlin' Wolves that we talked about and things like that. But in this point in time, it was not popular for a man to look like he was trying on stage. It was the time of fucking Nat King Cole and Frank, and the cooler you were, the cooler you looked, the more popular you got. Well, these guys were pining for a woman, and they're screaming, not necessarily because they were feeling it, although they were feeling it, but because to hit notes. They didn't even want to, Levi Stubbs didn't want to put this out. He hated how he sounded, but they did it without telling him. And the rest is history. The Four Tops sound is all based on this desperate voice thing that he was doing that he hated at first, and it made him popular because it's so good. It's so much better than, I love the Supremes, but you listen to Baby Love and then you listen to Can't Help Myself. Tell me which one's better. Sorry, Supremes lovers, who I also love. Underrated, overrated, properly rated. In its time, it was massively popular. Four Tops, I guess I'd call them underrated now. I don't think they get talked about much. I guess I get it. It's not really of the time. The Royals Award, is it their best song? It is not. I'll say their best song is Reach Out, I'll Be There. And that's all I'll say, but it's got to be on this list. I hope to God it's on this list because there are a couple very specific, complex musical things that I would want to get into for that song. Go listen to that song. It's so good. It's so unbelievably good. Rickroll, is this song overplayed? I'm sure it was desperately overplayed in the time. It's not now. I mean, we've all heard it 100 times, but I don't care. I could listen to that forever. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, it's, I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. It's about how he sings it. It's not what he's saying. The album setup, it's a singles. It doesn't count. Is this the best song on the album? It doesn't apply. And rate the song. It is a 10 out of 10. Perfect song. If you say otherwise, you're a silly, silly man and or woman. Number 482. Here we go again. Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. This came in 2009. It is electro pop. It's Lady Gaga, produced by Red One. I already talked about Lady Gaga. I'm not doing it again. This is a Lady Gaga song, and it sounds like a Lady Gaga song, and I don't have anything else to say about it. It's a 5 out of 10 song, I guess. I don't know if it's the best song on the album. I don't care. It's Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Are you going to make me talk about this? Number 481. Crossroad Blues by the Robert Johnson. So it's at this time that I'm starting to realize that Rolling Stone is kind of cheating. When I say cheating on this, I think they're cheating on the songs list by pulling from the album list, because things are starting to. We got Lady Gaga on the same exact spot in the albums and the songs. We've got Robert Johnson and Muddy Waters we're talking about right now. There's some sort of thing. This is what that means. There's some sort of thing going on here, right? I think it's just like do you think like top 400, they were like, we got to cross shit off the list. We got to get shit crossed off. Lady Gaga's newer. We need newer artists. We got to, we got Muddy Waters and Helen Wolf and Brad Johnson on here. We got to have them on the list. Let's make them a 400, cross them out. I think there's something like that going on. Crossroad Blues, most people just call it Crossroads. It came out in 37. It was released in 37. It was recorded in 36 in San Antone, actually. Don Law came out with it, which I think was a British dude. It bounced around a little bit. People definitely, white or black, heard this and said, "Holy shit, what is this?" So much so to the point that the first couple producers that heard it were like, "I don't know what to do with this, but something has to be done." And this is back in the fucking 30s, dude. Like, people were racist as shit. But people were like, dude, somebody's got to do something with this. So they just passed it a couple times, and eventually Law got it. Was like, oh yeah, what you're missing is that this is completely brilliant. I will produce the shit out of this. There are a lot of really fun songs have been written about this song. Songs have been written about this man. Movies have been written about this man. Movies have been written about this song. Guitarists have made half their career about this song. It all comes from, is it Mississippi? It's just the American South, I think. There are sites called Crossroads where it was easier to hitch a ride back in the day, that sort of thing. And this song nobody knows what this song is about. It's for Brad Johnson. It was probably literally just about him trying to hitchhike at the crossroads, not being able to get picked up, probably because he's black, and being very sad that he was going to have to sleep on the fucking road at night. But there's a lot of other stuff that's going on here. There's a second verse it says, "The sun going down now, boy, dark gonna catch me here." Could be a reference to Jim Crow laws, curfew laws. It's, loitering, like black people loitering in the 30s would get them lynched. That's how bad it was back then. Which, like I'm teaching you something you didn't already fucking know. The thing that I choose to go with, just because I'm a music guy and it's my thing, is that the crossroads, a very specific crossroads, that is where Robert Johnson met the devil and had his Faustian bargains. He sold his soul to the devil to be able to play the way he plays. The word around the time was that Robert Johnson became a nobody picked up a guitar, and within like a week was playing it 30 times better than anybody had ever seen in all of the South. So rumors actually went around that, like, okay, so he sold his soul to the devil and he's now playing devil music, which people believed, and it sold. It still does. Play that record backwards, boys. But it's Crossroads. It's a great song. It's a super simple fucking Delta blues song. It's 30s Delta blues, Robert Johnson, and it's great. What's Love Got to Do with It award? He is the man that sold his soul to the devil for music. So he's one of my favorites ever. The Brain Pleaser award, this is simple, but that sound of something that was recorded fucking 100 years ago, that grainy, shitty, tinny, it's just, I love it. It's so good. Underrated, overrated, properly rated. This will never be properly rated. Massively underrated. I don't even know how much we've talked about Robert Johnson on the pod, and he's the reason for all of the music we all listen to. The Royals Award, is it his best song? Look, I have his complete works back here, which I love and I do listen to, but a lot of it just sounds the same. It's fucking Delta Blues. It's not the best song on it. It's not the worst song on it. No, it's not overplayed. The lyrics, I like that. I like the sun going down, the dark about to catch me. I like the thought of however that's happening on that crossroad, something's about to happen to him. The album setup doesn't apply. It's the best song on the album. It doesn't really apply. It's Robert Johnson, so it's naturally not an album artist. And rank the song, if this is the representation of Robert Johnson, which it is, this is Crossroads. This is the Crossroad Blues. This is the representation for an entire history of music, then yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. It's really, really silly. It's just silly. Now with the 20 songs that are on here, Bad Romance is second to last only over Old Town Road because I don't know. I don't know why. I probably like Old Town Road more than Bad Romance. Buddy Holly is just over 212, just under Crossroad Blues. And Can't Help Myself is just over Baby Love and just under Time After Time, slotted into number 5. So, top 5 of songs are Can't Help Myself, Time After Time by the beautiful Cyndi Lauper. Laupered. Where Is My Mind by them damn Pixies. So What, the jazz fucking perfection song. And number 1 is still Welcome to the Jungle. My top 5 albums right now, we've got The Ronettes, we've got Damaged, we've got I Want to See the Bright Lights, one of my favorite finds of making this list, Pharcyde 2, and Funeral. And that's our episode. Like I said, we won't be doing the top 500s as much this year, and I will tell you the project that I'm doing and why I'm swapping my solo episodes between Rolling Stone 500s, a very deep dive into one band. I needed content that I could do myself, that I knew that Evil and Rachel would not want to be a part of. And so I am doing a many part dissection on the band Radiohead. That's right. One of my top 2 to 3 favorite bands of all time, is very polarizing. I know people either love them or absolutely hate them. There's a lot to talk about with Radiohead, and I'm going to talk a lot about it. I am making Rachel and Evil do one album, a 10 out of 10 with me. I'll let you guess which one that is. But yeah, you're going to hear a lot of Radiohead coverage this year. I hope you're okay with it. VerseCourseVerse.com at VerseCourseVersePod. I love you guys a lot. Go have some fun out there. Go be safe out there. Okay? Be very safe. Love you. Good night and good luck.